everybody, it's Miss Karen, the Young Adult Librarian at the Goshen Public Library, and I'm back again with a brand new box of books for the YA collection that I want to share with you. So let's get this box open. It's a smaller box this time, so not quite as many books. But let's see what's inside. Get tape broken. First book that I'm pulling out is called I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. Let's see what this one's about. My box a little bit. Sky Shin has heard it all. Fat girls can't dance, shouldn't wear bright colors, shouldn't call attention to themselves. But Sky dreams of joining the glittering, intense world of K-pop. And to do that, she's about to break all the rules that society, the media, and even her own mother have set for girls like her. When Sky nails her audition in an internationally televised competition looking for the next K-pop star, she's immediately swept into a whirlwind of countless practices, shocking performances, and the drama that comes with reality TV. What she doesn't count on are the highly fat-phobic beauty standards of the Korean entertainment industry or her sudden media fame and scrutiny. Luckily, she doesn't have to go it alone. In the competition, Sky meets new friends and finds herself partnered with fellow competitor Henry Cho, an unfairly cute celebrity model. Sparks soon fly, and with the support of her friends and Henry, Sky sets her sights on becoming the world's first plus-size K-pop star by winning the competition without losing herself. So this is realistic fiction. It sounds like it might have a little bit of romance in it, maybe. And if you like K-pop, it's probably a good look at the inside world of K-pop. So it looks like a fun summer read. If you're interested in that one, I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. Let's see what we have next. It's this one. Next we have The Dark in Between by Elizabeth Hribb. This looks spooky. Really scary looking cover. Let's see. A terrible accident brings Casey Everett's life to a halt, literally. Pulled from the water, Casey is rushed to the hospital and miraculously revived, but her sudden return to the living is shadowed by the drowning of her best friend Liddy. Overcome with grief, Casey returns home for the summer only to find the memories of the accident won't let her go. Shadow-drenched nightmares, whispers in the back of her mind, her friend screams. Casey thinks she's losing it until she watches a boy fall from the sky. Red, an angel fallen to earth to regain his wings, takes her to Limbo, a place that exists somewhere between the living and the dead. Now, in order to save her best friend, Casey must learn to walk these mysterious and dangerous paths, or else risk losing Liddy's trapped soul to something worse than death. Okay, so definitely a spooky, supernatural, life after death, angels, all sorts of creepy things. So let's read the back for a second. If she squeezes her eyes tight enough, all she can see is black. Shapes grow out of the darkness in her mind. Tall, reaching tree limbs. A black wood, shrouded in shadow and stone. Sorry, I can't read that word. Uncool in the mounds of turned earth. So, if you're looking for a spooky summer read, not very long either, check this one out. All right, next we've got All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is a memoir, so a biography, autobiography. And let's see what it's about. This is the story of George Matthew Johnson. In his groundbreaking young adult memoir, prominent writer and LGBTQIA+ activist George M. Johnson shares both glorious and gut-wrenching memories of growing up black and queer in America. From getting bullied at age 5 to visiting flea markets with his lovely grandmother, to the thrilling frontiers of first relationships, Johnson's early life is a profound tapestry of everyday experiences. As a rising star in cultural criticism, Johnson turns his passion for exploring intersectional identities to his own life by weaving questions of gender, masculinity, brotherhood, family, and black joy throughout his stories. Posing the same questions to the reader, he invites us to consider what social influences have governed our own lives. Most central to Johnson's journey is how to reconcile his blackness and his queerness, identities that are sometimes at odds in his story. The answer is a reassuring testimony for queer men of color. They are equal parts to a whole and a perfectly designed person. So this sounds like a great personal memoir story of growing up different than the culture that you're a part of, and how to navigate that, and how George Johnson successfully navigated it. So, something to think about. Right, let's see what's next. Next we have Girl, Serpentthorne by Melissa Bashardoust. Let's see, Girl, Serpentthorne. There was and there was not, as all stories begin, a princess cursed to be poisonous to the touch. But for Soraya, who has lived her life hidden away, apart from her family, safe only in her gardens, it's not just a story. As the day of her twin brother's wedding approaches, Soraya must decide if she's willing to step outside the shadows for the first time. Below in the dungeon is a demon who holds the knowledge she craves, the answer to her freedom. Above is a young man who isn't afraid of her, whose eyes linger not with fear, but with an understanding of who she is beneath the poison. Soraya thought she knew her place in the world, but when her choices lead to consequences she never imagined, she begins to question who she is and who she is becoming, human or demon, princess or monster. So this is a perfect book for our Imagine Your Story theme this summer. Princesses, demons, magic, fantasy, monsters. It's got everything. So if that sounds good to you, check out Girl, Serpentthorne by Melissa Bashardoust. Okay, let's see what's next. Next we have Found by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. Now, Found is a part of the House of Night Otherworld series. So if you guys have read the House of Night books, there's a whole new series called Otherworld, which is sort of another version of the House of Night. Has the same characters, but they're sort of flipped. They're in another sort of dimension, I guess, if that's the best way to call it. You don't want to read Found until you've read some of the other books in the Otherworld series. You may not want to read it before you've read the House of Night series as well. So there's a lot of books before that if you want to check this one out. But if you are already a fan, this is the next book in the Otherworld series. So I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I don't want to spoil it for you. But the House of Night series has vampires and all sorts of other supernatural creatures. So if you're interested in that, check out that series, and then you can check out this one. All right, let's see what's next. Next we have Hawk by James Patterson and Gabrielle Charbonnet. Now, Hawk is part of the Maximum Ride series. So this is the first Maximum Ride book, which came out all the way back in 2006. Hawk is a continuation, a Maximum Ride for this generation. So Hawk is I believe, the daughter of Maximum Ride. So it's a new story, but has some of the same characters in it. So if you haven't read the Maximum Ride books, you might want to check those out first. We do have some of them, and they're all available in the system. So you might want to check out Maximum Ride before you check out Hawk. But I will tell you what it's about because I don't think that spoils anything. Where is Maximum Ride? 10 years ago, a girl with wings fought to save the world, but then she disappeared. Now she's a fading legend, remembered only in stories. Hawk doesn't know her real name. She doesn't know who her family is or where they went. The only thing she remembers is that she was told to wait on a specific street corner at a specific time until her parents come back for her. She stays under the radar to survive until a destiny that's perilously close to Maximum Ride's forces her to take flight. Someone is coming for her, but it's not a rescue mission, it's an execution. So if that sounds good to you and you like James Patterson and you're interested in the Maximum Ride books, this is the newest one in that particular series. All right, let's see what's next. Next, we have The Kinder Poison by Natalie May. Let's see what this one's about. Zathru has long dreamed of leaving the kingdom of Orkena and having the kinds of adventures she's only ever heard about in stories. But as a lowly whisperer, her power to commune with animals means that her place is serving in the royal stables until the day her magic runs dry. All that changes when the ailing ruler invokes the Crossing, a death-defying race across the desert, in which the first of his heirs to finish and take the life of a human sacrifice at the journey's end will ascend to the throne. With all of the kingdom abuzz, Zathru leaps at the chance to change her fate, if just for a night, by sneaking into the palace for a taste of the revelry. But the minor indiscretion turns into a deadly mistake when she gets caught up in a feud between the heirs and is forced to become the Crossing's human sacrifice. Now, Zathru's only hope for survival hinges on the impossible, somehow figuring out how to overcome the most dangerous people in the world. So this sounds like a adventure, fantasy, probably set in a different kind of world than the one that we live in. It says here, a girl destined to die, a weapon more powerful than any blade. So if adventure and fantasy is what you like, check out The Kinder Poison by Natalie May. Okay, next we have True Life by J. Kristoff. Now, True Life is the third book in the Lifelike series. So instead of reading you exactly what this one is about, because I don't want to spoil it, I will tell you about the Lifelike series. This is Lifelike. This is the first book. And this is Deviate. This is the second book. So let's see what Lifelike is about. It's just another day in the scrap. A quick brawl at the War Dome, dodge a murder gang, stumble upon the deadliest robot ever built. 17-year-old Eve isn't looking for secrets. She's already too busy looking over her shoulder. The robot gladiator she spent months building is a smoking wreck, and the only thing keeping her grandpa alive was the handful of credits she just lost to the bookies. Worst of all, she's discovered that she can destroy machines with nothing more than her mind, and a bunch of puritanical fanatics are building a coffin her size. If she's ever had a worse day, Eve can't remember it. But when Eve discovers the ruins of a beautiful android boy named Ezekiel, buried in the scrap pile she calls home, her entire world has turned upside down. With her best friend and her robotic sidekick in tow, she and Ezekiel will track across deserts of irradiated glass, battle cyborg assassins, and scour abandoned megacities to save the ones Eve loves, and learn the dark secrets of her past, even if those secrets were better off staying buried. Okay, so this is the Lifelike series. This is the first one. This is the second one. And then we just got the third one, which is called True Life. So if it sounds like a series that you're interested in, or if you've already read the first two and you want the third one, check it out. It's in the catalog, available to place a hold on right now. Let's see what else we have. Next we have I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. Okay, this one's got cool blue pages to match the cover too. What happened to Zoe won't stay buried. When Anna Ciccone arrives at the small Hamptons village of Heron Mills for a summer nanny gig, she has high hopes for a fresh start. What she finds instead is a community on edge after the disappearance of Zoe Spanos, a local girl who's been missing since New Year's Eve. Anna bears an eerie resemblance to Zoe, and her mere presence in town stirs up still raw feelings about the unsolved case. As Anna delves deeper into the mystery, stepping further and further into Zoe's life, she becomes increasingly convinced that she and Zoe are connected, and that she knows what happened on New Year's. 2 months later, Zoe's body is found in a nearby lake, and Anna is charged with manslaughter. But Anna's confession is riddled with holes, and Martina Green, teen host of the Missing Zoe podcast, isn't satisfied. Did Anna really kill Zoe? And if not, can Martini's podcast uncover the truth? So this is definitely a summer mystery. If you like mysteries and probably unreliable narrators, this is probably the book for you. So check out I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. Okay, we've got a couple more books in here. The next one is Dark Skies by Danielle Jensen. Dark Skies is the second book in the Dark Shores series. So I will tell you what Dark Shores is about in case you haven't read it yet. I don't want to spoil it by telling you what the second one is about. So, in a world divided by meddlesome gods and treacherous oceans, only the Maren possess the knowledge to cross the endless seas. But they have one mandate: East must never meet West. A pirate with a will of iron, Tariana is the second mate of the Quintessence and heir to the Maren triumvirate. Her people are born of the seas and the keepers of its secrets. But when her closest friend is forced into an unwanted betrothal, Tariana breaks her people's mandates so that her friend might escape, a choice with devastating consequences. A soldier with a secret. Marcus is the commander of the 37th, the notorious legion that has led the Cylinder Empire to conquer the entire East. The legion is his family, but even they don't know the truth he's been hiding since childhood. It's a secret he'll do anything to protect, no matter how much it costs him and the world. A dangerous quest. When an Empire senator discovers the existence of the Dark Shores, he captures Tariana's crew and threatens to reveal Marcus' secret, unless they sail in pursuit of conquest, forcing the two into an unlikely and unwilling alliance. They unite for the sake of their families, but both must decide how far they are willing to go and how much they are willing to sacrifice. So this is the first book, Dark Shores, and this is the second one, Dark Skies. So if that sounds good to you, check this one out first. If you've already read this one, then check this one out. All right, the last book in my box is called Hardwired by Len Vallejos. This looks like science fiction, if I had to guess. It says, what does it mean to be real, happy, alive, free? Quinn is a normal 15-year-old who plays video games, spends time with his friends, and crushes on a girl named Shay. He lost his father to cancer years ago, but finds comfort in video messages his father left behind, one for each anniversary of his death. But this year, Quinn notices a strange code in the messages, and unraveling it reveals a shocking secret that brings his entire world crashing down. He's not normal, he's not 15, he's not even human. He's an artificial intelligence. Quinn is the first fully self-aware AI in the world, part of a multi-billion-dollar university experiment run by his father, who is very much alive. Everything Quinn thought he knew is a lie, and his life becomes a never-ending nightmare of experiments and isolation until he bonds with Shay, the real girl behind the virtual construct. As Quinn questions whom he can trust, he also wonders, where do I belong? So this science fiction about a boy who thinks he's real but finds out that he's not, and how he deals with that. So if you're interested in that kind of science fiction, check out Hardwired by Len Vallejos. So all of these books should be available either now or very soon through the catalog. If you're interested in checking any of them out, put a hold on them in the catalog or give me a call at 294-6606, extension 105, and I will put a hold on it for you. So I hope you like some of these books. I hope you found something that sounds interesting to you, and I will see you soon with a brand new box.